The WNBA is selling this next CBA as a future where everybody wins. Average salaries up, max deals exploding, more money flowing into the league than ever before. But tucked into the way these numbers are structured is a reality nobody on a podium is going to spell out. The next great rookie class might be the first generation that actually gets stuck paying for everyone else's raise. On the surface, 2026 is supposed to be the beginning of the golden era. Owners have floated caps in the mid-5 million range at the low end, with the union pushing for numbers that could push the cap toward 10 million once expansions and new TV money fully hit. Both sides are talking about average salaries that more than double what players were making just a few years ago. Max figures that could eventually creep toward 2 million at the top of the scale. It sounds like a historic win, a clean headline, an easy, everyone's finally getting what they deserve moment. Until you look at who actually controls the bottom of the food chain. That's where rookies live. That's where the trap lives. The WNBA already runs on a rookie scale system. If you're a first-round pick, your salary isn't negotiated from scratch, it's pretty much pre-written in a table. Slot number, dollar amount, small raises built in. A number 1 pick comes in around that 81,000-ish neighborhood under the current framework. Then each class gets a small bump, maybe 3% as the years go by. Inside the deal, the player herself gets maybe 2% year-to-year bumps. It's stable for teams, predictable for the league office, and brutally limiting for any rookie who's good enough to be a star the minute she steps on the floor. That structure is the foundation the rookie trap sits on. Even before any new clause gets added, rookies already function as the league's cheapest high-value labor. A rookie you hit on is the perfect cap cheat code. She gives you starter or even all-star level production at a bargain price for 3 or 4 years, depending on options, while you use the rest of the cap to pay veterans and fill out the roster. Now, drop that structure into a new era where caps and veteran salaries spike hard. In the current negotiations, the public numbers flying around are all about veterans and total cap growth. Owners have pitched a cap that jumps but stays much lower than what the union wants. The WNBPA has countered with a model that pushes caps much higher and ties player money more directly to revenue. In broad strokes, players want a bigger slice and more flexibility. Owners want to control costs and risk. That's standard CBA tug-of-war. But behind those headline numbers, the league is obsessed with another question. How do you raise the top and middle without losing control of your bottom? The easiest answer is also the quietest one. You freeze the rookie scale relative to the rest of the system. You don't literally freeze the raw numbers, that would be obvious. Instead, you keep rookie raises tied to a smaller growth formula. You keep their deal length long, you keep the team option year, you maybe tweak the scale table so it updates slowly, independent of the bigger cap and revenue jumps. In public, rookie salaries go up. On paper, everyone can point to a chart that shows a number higher than last CBA. But when you compare that rookie slot to the new veteran minimum, or the new max, or the new average, rookies are falling further behind relative to the overall pie. That's the rookie trap, locking the youngest players into cheap deals for longer while you loudly celebrate veteran money and overall cap growth. Think about why that's so attractive to front offices. Even at today's numbers, a rookie deal is a steal. A top 1 or top 5 pick who's genuinely good offers more value per dollar than almost any veteran on the roster. She lets you pay an established all-star big money and still stay under the cap. She makes it easier for an expansion team to build quickly. She gives coaches flexibility and gives GMs cover when their big cap bets don't work out, because they can always point to the rookie as proof the future is cheap and promising. Now, imagine that type of player under a CBA where veteran minimums have tripled. The true star contracts are multiples of what they used to be, and yet the rookie scale lags behind. Suddenly, that rookie isn't just a bargain, she's the subsidy. Her underpayment is what makes everyone else's new income possible. The rumored draft combine clause is the perfect example of how these negotiations are starting to treat rookies. There was a proposal floating around that would require draft prospects to attend a mandatory combine or risk losing a significant chunk of their salary. The messaging was about evaluation and professional standards, but the structure tells you something deeper. Rookies are being asked to jump through more hoops with their money on the line early in ways veterans never had to. It's a sign that the league views incoming players as a lever, not just a talent pipeline. Layer that mentality on a rookie scale that doesn't keep up with the rest of the CBA, and you get a class that's boxed in before they sign their first contract. The 2026 group is walking straight into that box. They're the first class projected to arrive in the full new money era. Expansion teams are in play, creating new roster spots and new cap puzzles. Media rights money is starting to hit. College ratings for the women's game are exploding. Social followings for some of these prospects are bigger than entire WNBA franchises had 5 years ago. The league's business models and sponsorship decks are being built around what these players can do for viewership and culture. And yet, when they get drafted, they're going to sign deals pre-designed to keep their share of the boom small and their leverage almost non-existent. They won't have a voice at the table where this is decided. The players bargaining the CBA are veterans and current members, not college kids. Rookies don't get to vote until they're already living under the rules. A prospect can't threaten a holdout over the scale. She can't walk into negotiations and say, "You're using my name and my future draw to sell this new TV package. I want a bigger slice." The system is set before she ever hears her name called. From the union side, the rookie trap is an uncomfortable but very real temptation. If you're WNBPA leadership, you've got veterans who have spent a decade getting underpaid, who sat through older CBAs with smaller caps, who took overseas jobs and risked injury just to survive. You've got mid-tier players who bounce between 10-day hardship deals and non-guaranteed contracts, living season to season. You've got all-stars who know they might only have one more big deal left. When you sit in front of owners and start trading demands, whose problems do you solve first? Do you fight hardest to explode veteran minimums so a role player doesn't have to piece together multiple leagues just to breathe? Do you push for true revenue sharing so the stars who actually drive TV numbers get a cut that reflects that? Do you win stronger guarantees, fewer ways to cut a player without paying, better housing standards, better post-career support? All of those issues serve people who are already in the league right now, and every time you push for something like that, owners push back somewhere else. Maybe they say, "Fine, we'll move on housing, but we need more control over guarantees." Maybe they say, "Fine, we'll raise veteran minimums, but the rookie scale has to stay tight so the math still works." In that scenario, rookies become the compromise. They're the bargaining chip that doesn't push back. That's how a rookie trap clause sneaks through. It doesn't come labeled in neon inside the CBA text. It comes as a consequence of 100 little trade-offs. This many veteran protected slots, this many years of team control, this formula for how rookie money changes when the cap changes. By the time it's all written out, what you get is a league where the players who've already endured the hard years finally feel taken care of, and the players who haven't arrived yet inherit a system where they subsidize that progress. There's a human side to this that's easy to forget when we talk in cap tables and percentages. Picture a 2026 rookie who walks in and immediately becomes one of the best players on her team. She's drawing the defensive game plan every night. She's in every national highlight package. Her jersey's in the top 3 for sales. Her social clips are what pull young fans into league content. On paper, she's the economic engine. On her pay stub, she's a cheap contract designed to make the books work. In that same locker room, you might have a veteran who finally got a deal that reflects what she's been worth for years. She's stabilizing her life, maybe she can buy a house, maybe she doesn't have to fly overseas every winter. She earned that. She needed that. But there's a tension there that the CBA is engineering. The vet's security is partly coming from the rookie being underpaid relative to her actual impact. You can easily end up with a situation where a rookie averaging near all-star numbers for 4 straight years never actually earns like an all-star until her first extension. By then, the CBA might be half over. The league might have already used her peak fresh face of the W energy to grow revenue, and she'll only touch the true top of the pay scale in the next set of negotiations when she's no longer new and shiny. From a team-building perspective, the rookie trap creates some strange incentives too. If rookies are the cheapest labor, teams have no reason to slow down the churn. Miss on a pick? Cut, waive, move on. The financial penalty is minimal. Hit on a pick? Fantastic! You have 4 years of elite production on a budget slot. There's no pressure to renegotiate early, no financial penalty for delaying her big payday, no structural incentive to treat her as a partner instead of an asset. That's the opposite of what you'd want if your goal is to build long-term faces of franchises and markets. You'd want a system where when a young player clearly proves she's elite, both sides have room to recognize that financially before the 3rd or 4th year. A trap system says, "We'll get to you when the structure finally allows it." So what would a less trapped system look like? You could shorten rookie deals. Instead of 3 years plus a team option, you could aim for 3 years total, or even a 2+ team option structure that allows true renegotiation after year 2 for exceptional performers. You could tie rookie raises directly to cap growth, so that if the cap jumps 10%, rookies see something close to that, not a flat 2 or 3. You could introduce triggers where certain award finishes or stat benchmarks unlock early extension conversations in a meaningful way. You could also cap how many ultra-cheap rookie-scale deals a team can carry before being required to elevate someone's status. Right now, the cheapness of rookies makes it easy to treat them as interchangeable parts. A rule that forces teams to graduate a certain number of players out of that cheap tier would ensure that some of the benefit of increased league revenue flows downward instead of getting stuck at the top. None of that would erase the need to prioritize veterans in the here and now. It would just stop the CBA from turning rookies into permanent sacrificial lambs. And that's really the core of the 2026 rookie trap conversation. It's not rookies versus vets or old versus young. It's about whether the league and the union are willing to share the risk and the reward of the growth era across all generations, or whether they quietly balance the books by asking the next wave to carry more of the load for less of the payoff. Because when we talk about the future of the WNBA, we're almost always talking about rookies. The marketing campaigns, the draft broadcast, the way we talk about college stars as saviors for struggling franchises or expansion teams. The league knows exactly how much a hyped rookie can move tickets, ratings, and culture. The trap is pretending that future is priceless in every way except the one that shows up in the CBA. So here's the real question for you. If you were sitting at that negotiation table, would you sign off on a deal that massively improves life for current players but locks the 2026 rookie class into another 4 years of being the cheapest talent in the building? Or would you be willing to shave a little off the top of veteran gains to build in earlier escape hatches and stronger raises for rookies, so the players carrying the hype into this new era actually get to share in the new money while they're still at their peak? Drop your answer in the comments. Would you protect the vets as much as possible right now, or push for a more balanced system that shortens rookie control and ties their earnings closer to league growth, even if it means some veterans don't see quite as big a jump on this CBA? And as these negotiations get closer to the finish line, pay attention to the small print, not just the press conference quotes. The headlines will tell you how big the new max salary is. The rookie scale will tell you who's really paying for it. If you want more breakdowns like this, tracking every clause and every ripple effect for players whose careers are being shaped on paper before they ever touch a WNBA floor, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We're not just watching the games this season, we're watching how the rules of the entire league get rewritten around the next generation of stars.